Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk a little bit about Battlefield 5 now that it's been out for a while. I have to say, most of the things I have to say about this game are fairly good. There are a few bad things here and there, but overall, it's a very, very good game. First of all, I want to go over the gameplay. Now, in general, the gameplay is a lot more tactical than previous Battlefield games like Battlefield 1, considering the fact that now health doesn't regenerate as much. And now there's less random bullet deviation like there was in Battlefield 1, so you can actually learn weapon recoil patterns and all that kind of stuff like you could in Battlefield 4, which I love. Now, normally with more tactical gameplay you have a slower pace, however in Battlefield 5 that is not the case. Sure, the game does have its slower moments, but sometimes it can be just as quick as Battlefield 1. Now, the end result of all the changes from previous games is a more in-depth experience, not as arcadey as Battlefield 1, that really kind of lets you play how you want to, like you always can in Battlefield, but the end result, like I said before, is a little bit more realistic and a lot more enjoyable. And did I mention that Vaseline seizure syndrome is, well, almost completely gone? The seizure syndrome is pretty much gone, but the Vaseline is still a little bit there. And what I'm talking about is suppression. Throughout the years, suppression has been annoying us Battlefield players for a long time, and now, thankfully, you can actually snipe back at people without feeling like you've rubbed Vaseline in your eyes. The screen still does have a little bit of a blurring effect whenever you get shot at, which really isn't a big deal at all, but now your weapon is, well, still accurate if you're shooting back at somebody, and your screen doesn't shake like you're having a seizure. Also, the time to kill is almost perfect in this game. I know lots of people hate the word perfect whenever it comes to games, but I think this is one that's almost completely understandable. Some weapons like the KE-7 do kill insanely quickly, which I've heard that they are going to fix, but on the other hand, most of the other weapons are fairly balanced. None of them feel terrible. The medic SMGs do feel a little bit lackluster, but at times they do kill very quickly. That's also kind of accompanied by the lower health, but it's just a time to kill system that's very good, and I like it a ton. Now for some things that are, I guess, gameplay related, but not tied into really just you firing your weapon. Just some of the highlights of the game. Now, one of the biggest things I love about this game is the squad play. Now, squad play's always been in Battlefield. You can always, spawn in your squad, for instance, but there's never been that much of a difference between your squad mates and your teammates. Now, it's not a big difference, not a giant improvement, but I still think it's a fairly noticeable one. Now, even if you aren't a medic, you can still revive your squad mates, which I really, really like. That's definitely going to come in handy whenever I'm playing with my friends, because I like playing as a medic, but it's nice knowing that you still can have your friends back, even if you're not playing as that specific class. Also, points, flags don't, I guess, get as many points for them, so objective play, in theory, it seems like it's not as useful. However, you don't get, like the way that the points are balanced are also very, very well done. So you feel not like you're being worthless if you're doing something and not something else, or if you're doing another thing and not something else, which is also very, very good. Now, I kind of want to do some of the negatives, which there are a few, but I guess they're all things that could be fixed. First of all is the netcode. Now, this is a long-standing Battlefield issue that pretty much anybody who's ever seen the game in a GameStop before or on the Steam store probably knows about. Now, I've heard that the netcode is quite a bit better than previous Battlefield games. Maybe not as good as BF1, because BF1 was actually like really, really good. But this could also just be a console thing, with the tick rate of the servers not being very high. But I tend to get killed around corners fairly often. That's something that's happened to me for a while in pretty much any BF game, but I do notice it quite a bit. In this one, that could be improved. I highly doubt they're going to raise the tick rate of the servers, but I mean, if they do, then, I mean, good for them. Not a ton of polish. I mean, the game did have a better release than games like Battlefield 4, which I think is a given, considering that any game could have a better release than that one. There's still quite a few glitches, including kind of, I think it might be if you sprint right after getting revived, but you'll kind of get like launched around. There's tons of dead bodies that just kind of float in the air and make you think that there's still a living player and then distract you, and then I don't always find it very annoying, but it's just something that pops up every once in a while. The UI, I'm going to be completely honest, I haven't really had a big issue with it. I've heard other players say that it's just, like, terrible. Maybe it's just because I don't pay attention to that much, like, of the menus or anything. But a bunch of people do say that it's very, very bad. And also, along the same lines, is how you can't really customize your weapons or your character during a match, which is kind of annoying because, you know, if you get some new specializations or a company coin, you can't really use it. Or if you unlock a weapon in the middle of a game, sometimes it won't let you equip it, and sometimes it will. And it's less like a glitch because it tells you in the menus that you can't do it. So the UI isn't the best either, but I mean, I guess they're all things that could be fixed. Now, as a whole, I'm going to say that Battlefield 5 is a very good game. Now, ignoring the marketing, which you may agree with or disagree with, I hate to say it, but I disagree with it. Whether or not you agree with that or not, or if you think that that improved or took away from the game, I think that the game itself, apart from all those things, is, I'm going to be completely honest, I think it's great. The gameplay is way more in-depth, as I said before, than like Battlefield 1. You feel like you're doing a lot more. It feels less like just running gun and mowing people down. You can really get involved with like the people that you're playing with, how you're playing your tactics, all those kinds of things, which is really, really great. I liked Battlefield 1. I thought it was fun, but over time you did just feel like you were spraying people down. But this game brings back the classic feelings of BF4, of feeling like a bad boy whenever you captured an objective by yourself and took down a whole enemy squad. Some of the really, really fun things are the reinforcements. Now, I haven't used them that much because I'm usually not squad leader. My skills can kind of make you infer that about me. But whenever you are the squad leader, it's very, very fun to drop a V1 rocket or the JB2 rocket. Now, I know that sounds quite obvious, but hearing the from half a map away is extremely satisfying. I've dropped a couple, and I have to say I might have only gotten 3 kills at most with one of them, which is not that impressive, but they're very enjoyable to get, and like I said before, you do feel like a bad boy whenever you get one. This game just has tons of things in it that you wouldn't really ask for, but are just kind of there. And the old scoring system for how Conquest works is back. Now you can have very close games, and in Battlefield 1, normally it would be like a giant difference between the points of the winning team and the points of the losing team. Like, you could have somebody with 1,000 points winning, and somebody with like 500 points losing, and you felt like halfway through the game, if you were down by like just a little bit, you almost felt kind of hopeless. Now, almost every game comes down to the wire. Like, I've had games where we lose by 5 points, games where we lose by like 3 points, where we win by a couple points. It's very, very intense. And not only does it come down to the wire often, but comebacks are also very possible, because I've had games where they'll be winning by 20 points in the last couple minutes, and then it gets switched around within a few seconds, and it's really, really fun to know that pretty much everything you're doing has a purpose and isn't just, you know, like, oh, if I go here and do this, then maybe it'll help. You really do feel like you're part of not only a squad, but a big part of your team. Now, in general, as I said before, this game I think is very, very good. I've enjoyed what I've played of it so far a ton. I'm definitely going to put a ton of hours into this game. But, yes, I know my commentaries are normally not that good, but I just kind of went with it with this one. I thought that after playing through it a little bit and having a great time with the game, I thought I'd at least give my opinions to you guys, so that you may hear them, even if you don't care or think I'm wrong. I like knowing that people can hear my voice about these kinds of things. So, if you do agree with me, I'd like to hear about it in the comments. If you disagree about something, I'd also love to hear it. But yeah, I just want to say that about this game and how much I enjoy it. And thank you, DICE, for creating a very good game that I will enjoy for a long time. Now, I'm going to leave you with the last couple seconds of this video to enjoy the beautiful flute music as I play Ring Around the Rosie with a tank, and eventually meet my end with a death that is very, very depressing. But, as always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.